Happy days. Sticky, good morning. Zionic, good morning. Let's see, happy days. What's up? What's the best cream for acne on TRT? So listen, instead of worrying about a topical cream, we've got to address what is causing the acne on your TRT, because that should not be happening. That should not be happening, okay? So we've got to address why that is happening first. Zionic, good man. My advice to you, this is my personal advice. I would say to start conservative, like start with like 4. That's conservative. I think less than 4 is a much different vibe. Personally, 6 is too much for me. 4 is not quite enough. It's weird. 5 is like my sweet spot. But back when I used to drink, Zionic, what I would do is when I was drinking, like let's say I was chilling like by the pool or something, right? Man, you pop a couple of those bad boys with a little booze, you be feeling nice because you get that little body tingle action going on with it. But, I don't condone that kind of behavior anymore these days. So let me go back to the very first question on here today. Good morning, welcome everybody. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. It's Hanukkah also, shout out to Hanukkah. So you should not be getting acne from TRT, absolutely not. Acne is toxins, man. There's skin eruptions like that should not be happening. So it could be a number of things. It could be perhaps you're doing too high of a dose at once and your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it's causing some excess DHT conversion, estrogen conversion, things like that. But just putting a topical cream on it, it ain't gonna be the case. No. We've got to address why that's happening. So you got to get blood work looked at and see what's going on in there. Because if everything is going the way it's supposed to be, shouldn't have any acne. Now listen, everybody gets some acne here and there. I get a little zit or two on my face, right? Even in my 40s, it happens. For me, I'll tell you why I get acne is because I'm a dirty ass mofo. I'd be walking around sweaty as hell all day, even though I love my showers. But if you're keeping yourself clean and whatnot, it's typically the internal that we need to look at that's causing that acne. Especially if it's on your body. Nathan, my man, Tater Tot, good morning. Feliz Navidad. No, listen, I had acne on my back when I was in high school, right? So this is going back in the 90s. And when you had acne on your back then in the 90s, you go to a dermatologist, they'd put you on tetracycline, oral tetracycline, and they'd give you like a cream and a body wash and all that stuff. But, that was happening because my body was going through haywire during puberty. There's not so much you can do about that when you're going through puberty, right? You kind of got to let it play out. It happens to some people. Some people get it so bad they have to get on Accutane, which is really aggressive. You don't want that. So we want to figure out why this is happening first. Happy days. Oh shit, Methaquat and Brutal. That's a great combo right there. CNC Music Factory, Everybody Dance Now, or Snap, I've Got the Power. Damn, very powerful songs. CNC Music Factory, Everybody Dance Now, bow, 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 now. Or I've Got the Power. Whew, man. I think I'm going with a little CNC Music Factory, mostly just because it had that guy that was in real good shape, the rapper. Gonna make you sweat till you bleed. Is that dope enough? Indeed. Franco Santoriello or Troy Zucolato. Ooh, going with the Italian Stallions. Franco Santoriello for me. Two good bodybuilders, though. Very good. Crackhead, yes. Dog fart. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Melanie. Mahrad, hello from, Persian. I love me some Persians. Love me some Persians. Priya Rai. Everybody loves Priya Rai. Top 3 movies that you'd recommend to your son to watch for influence, or maybe you'd see movies together. How old are we talking here, Bolshoi Kush? How old? Where's my son at in life? Do you still go to cryotherapy? Cairo, like in Egypt? Or are we talking about cryotherapy? Let me know. I'm on a strict mustard and beef diet. Getting on that Jason Genoy diet. Better be careful. Better be careful. If you get been swelling every time from a batch, it's not a good sign. Here's the thing, guys. Some people are very sensitive to testosterone. Depending on what kind of testosterone you're doing, typically the body tolerates testosterone cypionate very well. It's a slower release. This is why medically it's the closest thing to your normal testosterone. That's why it's prescribed like that. Comes and goes pretty smooth. But let's say your dose is 200 milligrams a week, right? And your doctor just has you going once a week. Some doctors have their people going once every 2 weeks. Terrible. So what happens is you're getting a hormone surge and then a big drop down again. And that can cause a little bit of haywire in the body. So the best way to get around that is by taking your weekly dose. I'll give you 2 options. You can be literally microdosing every single day, which means you're taking just a little bit every single day. I advise people to use an insulin needle if you do that because they're little pricks. Or you divide it into every other day doses, right? So, for instance, if you're doing 200 milligrams a week, what I suggest is either going 70 milligrams a day, which will put you at 210, a little slightly over, every other day, or you can go a little less. You can go 60 milligrams every other day. We'll put you at 180. You know, you can go right in that area. And those lower dose frequent injections keep things nice and stable in your body so you don't have those side effects like that. But listen, if you're not getting your stuff from a doctor, guys, I do not condone you guys getting stuff from underground labs or whatever the cool company is on the internet now, because you just don't know what you're getting. And it could be causing a lot of issues. But if you get pain and then swelling every time from a batch, it's probably bad. Yes and no. It could be, listen, I've had stuff, guys, back in the day that was just made with way too much alcohol. And that alcohol caused bad swelling every time, but I still got damn good results from it. Typically when you get stuff made from the big pharmacies, like the Pfizer Test Depot, for instance, you don't get any pain or swelling at all. Hello, AKA. Dad, you got milk. Blink 182, All the Small Things, or Backman, she's so high, high above me. Blink 182, definitely Blink 182. Oh, Todd Jewell or Bruce Patterson? Definitely Todd Jewell. 6 years old to your son. Top 3 movies. Wow, 6 years old. Let's see. So we're in like that PG range, I think, right? At 6. Man, what are some good? I say we're gonna go with. Let's see. What are we watching at 6 years old that I'm comfortable with? I got to censor. These days, I don't know, there's a lot of scary stuff out there. We're probably going to have to go back a little bit. I think we'll do, I'm okay with Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Mary Poppins is okay for sure. What else? The Lion King, great message. The old Lion King. I'm going cartoon Lion King. And I think we're gonna watch The Land Before Time. Absolutely. Good stuff. Three horns do not hang out with long necks. Everybody knows that. What's my body count? I have no idea. I have no idea. A lot of them I have forgotten over the years now. Cryotherapy. No, I haven't done cryotherapy since I've been out of prison. It's great for you though. Do I find TNT enhances everything? I think testosterone will enhance quite a bit. It's what makes you a man, you know? Dumbest thing you see in a romantic movie that men do in real life, and it doesn't work. I've seen a dude who tried to do a scene with tape recorder from a Say Something movie. Chick didn't open her window. Terrible. Terrible Bolshoi Kush. You know, I don't know. I'll tell you something that I noticed yesterday. So Marissa had this 90s station on for like background music while we were cooking and whatnot. And there are so many 90s music videos, you know, boy band videos, 98 Degrees, you know, Backstreet Boys, whatever, and R&B also, where they shot a scene where the girl is in the bathtub taking a bath and the guy's fully clothed outside the bathtub, like canoodling with her. That's fucking, excuse my language, weird as hell. Like, I'm sorry, but I've never fully clothed, put a girl in a bath, and sat there and was like, yes, bathe yourself. Weird as hell. Why was that such a thing in the 90s? Is that still a thing now? I don't know. Am I weird for thinking that? To me, that's creepy and weird. What is my yearly income? Minimum wage times 30 hours a week is what they're allowing me now. Gerard Dente or Jean-Pierre Fox? Ooh. Gerard had a more aesthetically pleasing physique, but Fuchs was a monster. I'm going Fuchs. Sad to see what happened to his legs. Oh, wow. Soldier Boy cranked that. Or Chingy right there. Ooh, two solid choices. Now watch me. I'm going Soldier Boy. But right there was a banger in its day. If there was a Celebrity Apprentice competition between Aaron and Palumbo to make money for charity for Holocaust survivors, how do you think who will win and make biggest amount of money? I gotta go with Aaron, man. He's really good at making money. Dave is too. But I think Aaron's coming through on that one. Rumblefish or Easy Rider? What is Rumblefish? Arginine and citrulline, two great ingredients. I don't know hardline nutrition, but strong ingredients. Great for vasodilation. John Cicada, Angel Arabi. I love John Cicada, man. Come on. You got to go John Cicada there. What recommendations you'll give to Irish and Asian people who want to increase their butt if squats and bridges don't help? Isn't it funny that it's widely known and accepted that Asians and Irish don't have asses? It is widely accepted. Now, I'll tell you, here's one that you may not know. You don't really find ass in Australia either. You don't find, even on the girls that are competing and training hard, the bikini girls, you don't really find ass in Australia. But to the Irish and the Asian, I think they got to go BBL. Yes, Lion King. I knew you were going to appreciate that. Jay-Z. What's going on with Jay-Z? Is he in trouble or what? Luke, man, thank you. You too, brother. Love Actually is a good Christmas movie. I'll give you that. Beyonce is a witch. I think so too. Did anybody see, I saw a little bit of Beyonce's halftime performance yesterday, and it was super weird. It was very weird. The Beyonce country stuff is weird to me. Good, Luke. Good, 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 man. Always good to have a bunch of guys together for a throwdown. NFL is scripted. It's the WWE. You know what? I've lost my appreciation for the NFL a while ago. Mostly because the Jets suck so bad. But also because of how woke they are. That's what turns me off about the NFL. Their woke policies and the forcing the guys to get vaccinated and honestly, like punishing guys for speaking out. They punished the guy in the 49ers for wearing a MAGA hat, but then they allow guys to kneel on the sidelines like it's no big deal. So crazy. Dianic says, was seeing a girl who surprised me and was dressed as Mary Poppins, and her spoonful of sugar helped medicine go down. Yes! My kind of girl, Dianic 484. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Merry Christmas, Smart Dog. Thank you. Let's see. Edmund says, was watching the old BPG videos from 10 years ago. Great workout videos. Man, can I get that body back, please? Can I have that BPJ physique again? Man, those injuries pile up and it's hard to get it back, I'll tell you. I'm not giving up, though. Tag team. Whoop, there it is. Or, I like big butts. I mean, both songs very popular in their time. I think Sir Mix-a-Lot, more iconic song. Oh my God, Becky. Her butt is so good. I'm going with Sir Mix-a-Lot on that one. Tough one, again. You've got some real tough ones today. You're making my brain cramp. I got a cramp in the frontal lobe. Dad, you have the milk. My cereal is molding. So do you have the milk? Molding cereal. Too many fucking pros. Listen, Mart Dog. I'm gonna let you use your best accurate guess on that one. Rumblefish movie that was released in the 80s by Francis Ford Coppola. First movie roles of Matt Dillon and Mickey Rourke that made them famous. I may not have seen that one, man. What was the plot to the movie? 5 milligrams is low, Mart Dog. That's okay. It's low. So you might need a slightly higher amount of it. The Serostim is 6 milligrams, a little stronger. Man, those Pfizer genotropin pens, they got 12 milligram pens, so. Eddie Moisan or Bob Ciccarello? I mean, just on Eddie Moisan's arms were so good. I'm going Eddie Moisan on that one. Wow, John Defendez or Jim Quinn. We're going back into like that WBF era. I'm going with Big Jim Quinn on that one. You know what I wish was still a thing? The Black Box subscription. Needed to get back to start doing more cool shit. Man, listen, I got a lot of ideas for when I get back in the mix. The problem, Luke, is that a lot of them involve me doing shit, which obviously is not allowed, man. Like, no more BPJ makes it tricky for them, and I don't know. They gotta come up with some cool shit to get the demand going again. I mean, I'm proud of those guys for hustling hard and keeping it going while I've been gone. Bikers and tough guys. Man, you know what, man? Bolshoi, maybe I have seen it. I'm trying to think, it's not ringing a bell. The Wanderers, that was a great one. Because I'm a wanderer, yeah, I'm a wanderer. How do you determine if a person is a gay in your circle, but can be in closet? Man, you can't hide that from me. You cannot hide that from me. Gaydar is off the charts. I don't know too many people that are in the closet anymore these days. It's actually it's very cool to be gay now, I've noticed. Gayness is actually in its all-time high. right now. In fact, it's so common now that it's not really that big of a deal. It's more, if you really want to stand out these days, it's not by being gay. Everybody's gay now. Tranny now, that's how you got to stand out. Although I'm sure there are some people maybe, probably in professional sports and whatnot, that are closeted. Would you ever do a collaboration on a pre-workout? As far as a collaboration, Garage Gym Homie posted for Blackstone Labs on a few products, including the Dust X. So, I mean, as far as collaborations, I suppose that's a collaboration, right? Isn't it amazing that the most played song during Christmas is Last Christmas by George Michael, and we still know Christian Church approaches gay people. Listen, Bolshoi, do you know that Marissa had no idea, she's a lot younger than me, that George Michael was a sex symbol to millions of girls in the 80s that didn't realize that he was gay? And it's so funny, right, how much the world has changed, because that video was on, and she's like, they really didn't know he was gay? I'm like, no, there was a lot of girls that thought they had a shot with George Michael. Hilarious. Yeah, you can't assume anybody's sexuality, Scatman. No, not in this era. Although there's a lot of people that I do assume are gay lately. Ted Nugent or Henry Rollins, two badasses. As far as musicians, more talent has to go to Ted Nugent. Both badasses, though. Henry Rollins done quite a bit with acting. Henry Rollins has a great verse and a song called Bottom by Tool, my favorite band, Tool. And it's a very powerful verse, but it's more like spoken word, which is kind of like his thing, you know what I mean? But as far as musical talent, you got to go Ted Nugent. Great guitar player. Stranglehold, awesome. Cat Scratch Fever. Thank you, Tyler. Oh man, Scatman, Scatman has to be right with Mariah Carey. I mean, that song is played on every station. It's played in the grocery stores, in the shopping malls. Oh my God. Baby, all I want for Christmas. Ba-do, 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 ba-do. You. Careless whisper. No, they don't, Bolshoi Kush. They forget that Wham, those early days of Wham, wake me up before you go. Classic songs. I have not read his book, no. Iron, is it good? Brandon Ray or Albert Beckles, tough. Two very different generations, very different generations. I think Albert Beckles did more with his physique than Brandon Ray did. Tips to get the pain and injection sites to go away. So look guys, here's some tips that I used to do. First of all, when you got something that you know that's hurting, unfortunately, this is the name of the game sometimes, couple little tricks that I used to do. First of all, I would heat it up before I put it in. So one trick that you can do is, once it's actually in the syringe, let the sink water get extremely hot and hold it under the water until it heats up quite a bit so it gets less viscous, right? Then, when you put it in, massage the fuck out of the area. And it goes way, way better when the area is hot. So I know guys that inject post-workout. To me, that's crazy. What I do, right, I take a fucking, excuse my language, I'm swearing a lot today, I apologize. I take a hot ass shower, heat that stuff up, make sure my skin is all hot and relaxed from the shower, then I do it. Now, if you still have problems after you've massaged it for a while, let's say the next day you're all boom, swollen up and hot, ice the hell out of it. Ice it like when you got a bad knee or a bad elbow. Ice it, ice that bitch, 10 minutes, rest for an hour, 10 minutes again. Just take a day to ice the hell out of it. Get all that swelling out of there. Man, let me tell you something, guys. I've done all kinds of weird shit. I had done some, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, back in the day, we had this stuff called T400. Mexican stuff. God only knows where it was made down there. That shit hurt. And I have had it where it literally, I took a bag of ice, it melted the ice within a few minutes because there was so much heat coming out of it. Where, you know, you get nervous that there's an infection. But when that happens, the last thing you want is an infection. My advice is ice and 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, get the inflammation out. Ice that bitch. Sophie B. Hawkins, damn, I wish I was your lover. Or Lisa Loeb, stay. I'm going with Sophie B. Hawkins on that one. Oh, wow, Trey Brewer or Big Sean Allen. Woo. The wheels go to Trey Brewer for sure. Overall, though, I got to go BSA. Shout out to BSA wherever he is out there. I did Maury Povich with him twice. Have I ever trained at the Dragon's Lair? So I trained at the original Dragon's Lair when Flex first put it all together before he got all the fancy equipment. And then I was there for the renovation where they got all of the, what did he have in there? What kind of equipment? Good quality equipment. I have not been on to the Vegas one though. Yeah, ice that shit, Ziona. In case if Genova will call you in the middle of night, telling you in a panic that he has a body in a car of dude that he killed because he told him to bring his shine box, we'll respond or continue. I will go back to sleep for sure. You know what's funny? Jane texted me to say Merry Christmas. And I, of course, said, thank you, Jane, Merry Christmas back. Then about an hour later, Jason texted me and said, my mom says Merry Christmas. She said she messaged you. I'm sad you didn't message me. I wrote him back, Jason, I'm here. What's up, man? I miss you. I'll probably see him next week. What is the best bodybuilder split for a natural lifter? So, listen, I don't think that natural lifters should train any different really than assisted lifters, but here's the big difference, Tyler Arnold. When you're on that testosterone or whatever else, you've got increased protein synthesis, faster recovery, so you can recover faster. So I think that when you're not on shit, you shouldn't do as much total volume as a lot of guys that are on like to do, and give yourself adequate rest. So what I mean by that is one body part a day. And I think as far as working sets go, 12 working sets, 15 working sets is if it's a larger body part. And let it rest for a whole week. Or at least 5 days before you repeat again. But I think a body part a week is plenty. Skip LaCour or Rusty Jeffers? Woo. Woo. Skip LaCour, natural, right? I still really liked Rusty Jeffers' physique. Great poser also. Ice that shit. Zionic, one time, I let all the boys, let me tell you guys, does anybody want to go story time right now? Do you want to take a little break from questions and get into story time? in the book of really dumb things that I've done by PJ Braun? Chicago, hard to say. I'm sorry, your air supply. Ooh, I'm all out of love. Oof. Ugh. Oh, man. I don't know, man. I think I'm going Chicago, though. I just want... No, that's Hold Me Now. Oh, no, it's the same song, yeah. Chicago. All right, story time. Cryotherapy definitely does work, Scat Man. It's you know, you see these guys cold plunging now? It's a cold plunge, just not as painful. All right, so do you guys remember when the second generation of sight enhancement stuff came out? Nick Trigili had one called, I think it was called Hydronics, right? And they were basically, from what I understand, alpha lipoic acid for sight enhancement. So, you know how girls, trying to think, hyaluronic acid, excuse me, not alpha lipoic acid, sorry. So, you know how women will put hyaluronic acid to plump their lips? Well, guys were like, I believe that this started out in Kuwait, one of those areas, where guys were like, we can fill our muscles up with hyaluronic acid. So Nick Trigili actually had a really good one. He sent it to me, and I tried it. And basically, you'd take like 2 cc's or so, and you'd put it into the muscle that you'd want to fill out, and you'd load it up, right? And honestly, his really wasn't painful. And it actually did work. The issue with it is that it didn't last for a long time. But I'm sure lots of bodybuilders were doing this stuff before shows. Well, there was a bodybuilder. To be honest with you, I don't even remember his name, so I'm not going to blow up his spot. I do believe he got his pro card. Short guy, really thick, lots of muscle. Well, I guess he had started his own company. And someone was like, yo, you should try his, blah, blah, blah. I got a bottle of it. So a lot of the guys were scared. And I'm like, I wonder if you could just load up everything at once. So we had the call center boys, Sammy, all these guys. Basically, I was like, let's just load up a whole shitload of needles. I think we loaded up like, honestly, guys, I think we loaded up like 30 needles. I'm not even kidding. And I'm like, and I'll just have you guys sight inject everything, and then I'm gonna go to the gym and just do an upper body pump and see what we think, right? I will sacrifice myself for you. So we did medial delt, posterior delt, inside of bicep, outside of bicep, long head of tricep, both traps, upper chest, lower chest. Pretty sure that's all we did, but listen, 3 cc's in every spot. Went to the gym, trained, actually did have a pretty good pump. Came back, they were like, wow, you look like pretty crazy. I was like, I feel okay, a little sore. Maybe like an hour went by, and all those areas got really inflamed and swollen. It was bad, man. We had ice all over me at the office. And I was like, this is way, way different than the Nick Trigili one. Hi. We also video recorded the whole thing because we felt like maybe this will be something that'll be interesting someday. That video is somewhere, but I don't know where. Let me tell you something. I was in a lot of pain after that. It was a very foolish idea. Don't ever do anything like that. I also amazed, let's see. I also amazed that children in the choirs of churches sing John Lennon's song, Imagine. where he has lyrics, nothing to kill or die, and no religion to. That is interesting, isn't it? I never thought about that. Bolshoi. How do you fix posture of young people these days when we spend our time leaning forward on a screen? Listen, this is a chronic issue, and I actually fell victim to that also, which I did sort of correct in prison, but I spent so much time like that, Bolshoi, that my shoulders got even more impinged, and also when you do that, you tend to slouch out your abdomen. And I believe that is part of the reason why actually I got this sports hernia is from that poor posture. But I think it's something that needs to be addressed early in school. In physical education, they should probably focus on posture. There is no focus on proper posture and alignment at all in your youth. You don't know it. You don't figure it out unless you're really into sports or you know somebody in your family that's a chiropractor, or you go to the military. Tears for Fears, head over heels, oh, total the line. I do love Toto. Bolshoi. King of New York or Miller's Crossroad. King of New York, definitely. Top 3 influencers or bodybuilders you'd like to make training videos with. Well, Bolshoi Kush, am I making the video with them because of their popularity or because of my feelings towards them? Because I would have to answer that differently, right? If I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck out of popularity, I suppose Sam Sulek's got to be in there, right? I mean, the youngsters love him. The other one would have to be Chris Bumstead. They also love him. Third, maybe Samson Dowda, because I'd like to be in there with a current Mr. Olympia. Now, if it's my own choices, who I'd like to do them with, I would say Kevin Levrone would be awesome to do one with. I always love doing stuff with Cutler, man. I love Jay. And who else would it be cool? Probably be really, really cool to do. Who else would be really cool to do something with? Let me think about this a little more. I guess my third choice, maybe as far as getting the most views, would be Larry Wheels. Everybody watches Larry Wheels. So if I'm capitalizing on the views, I think I got to go Sam Sulek, Chris Bumstead, and Larry Wheels. If I'm going on just my own personal choice, I'd like to see what the current Mr. Olympia is doing in the gym. So stick me in there with him. Kevin Levrone, because he's one of my all-time favorites. I love Cutler. I've done some things with Cutler. But I'd love to do more with Jay. Ronnie can't really do too much these days, so I don't know if I'd be, I don't know if that would be any good. Let's see here. Do you have a copy of Jason's album, Jay Cream? Man, I would have loved to get in the studio with Jay Cream back then. Let's see. Vince Taylor turned 68 years old. Dude still drinks cola and eats McDonald's. Listen. Black genetics, baby. God bless them. I do all these exercises for posture. They don't fucking help. Listen, posture comes from your core. Believe it or not, it starts through your core. So you can focus on your foot alignment. You can focus on your shoulder alignment, having your scapula locked in place. But if you don't focus on that core, locking your core in, everything else falls apart. Natural Born Killers or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Wow. I gotta go with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas just because the first time I watched that movie, I watched it on LSD, which was a very unique experience for it. Very, very, very good movie anyway. But because the first time I watched it on LSD, and I was really tripping my brains out. There's so many parts of that movie that if you're tripping and you're watching it, you really get like kind of lost if is this really going on or not. Bolshoi, I agree with you as far as the boring goes, but I'd like to just mix it up with to say that I did it, you know what I mean? Sam Sulek is the Jake Paul of bodybuilding, oh my God. I don't really know much about Sam Sulek, guys. I see his physique. I know he's crazy popular. People were asking me about him in prison, and I think he got popular, you know, while I was in prison. So people are asking me about him. I'm like, I have no who this guy is. So when I got out, I was like, I gotta see who this guy is. You know, even the lieutenants that were into bodybuilding, they were like, yeah, my son, you know, he loves Sam Sulek. Have you ever done anything with him? I'm like, I honestly don't know who he is. So when I got out, I was like, huh. Kind of surprised. But hey, good on him. Did you hear about one Russian pro in the 90s, Nikolai Yazanovsky? He also spent 2 years in prison in the 90s for selling drugs. Made tons of money. The guy who was informer was Kevin Nash, the wrestler? Wow. Maybe if I saw a picture, Bolshoi. Have I heard of PRP injections? Yes. Platelet-rich plasma. I have not done them. I would say it's about 50-50. Guys I know that have had results versus not results. For some reason, it seems the guys that have done knees have gotten better results with it than shoulders or elbows. Gladys Knight, License to Kill, or Luther Vandross, If This World Were Mine. Man, I think Luther Vandross is very underrated in the white community. In the white community. I think, he won't say that he is in the black community, but I think a lot of people don't realize how good, how big of a deal Luther Vandross was. He didn't have the same crossover success, you know? Was a different time back then. 43 minutes, 40 seconds. I appreciate you guys doing this with me. Feel like I slacked a little bit this week. You know, I did short session Monday, shorter session Tuesday. I totally rested yesterday. Had a great day yesterday, guys. Man, that was the best Christmas I've had in so long. We relaxed. We made awesome food. Gave each other some presents. Had a little, that's always fun. Got to play with the doggies, watched some good movies. We watched the movie Werewolves last night with Frank Grillo. Very good movie. Surprisingly good. It's out on early release on Amazon Prime. You got to drop that $19.99 for those early ones, but we both really liked it. Of course I have a name for the Braun spawn. Absolutely, I have just been asked by my love to keep it a secret for now. Scatman is my mentor. Nathan, I'm not a jammy guy. If I was up north still, definitely. But I get hot easily, and I don't like being hot. And they were a little hot. We wore them all day on Christmas Eve. I had to keep myself relatively sedentary to not heat up too much. But I know the jammies are the thing these days. Marissa was cooking on Christmas Eve. She was cooking strombolis, giant strombolis. She made a bunch of them. Yesterday we had menegots and chicken parmesan. Love me some chicken parmesan. Never get tired of chicken parmesan. JJ Marsh or Don Long? Listen, Don Long, tough break with the kidney. He was incredible, Bolshoi. Incredible bodybuilder. Nice guy, too. No, well, listen, unfortunately, I didn't know the right people to get that early release the way he did. You know, hey, listen, not gonna judge, man, not gonna judge. He did what he had to do. God bless him, he got out early. Anything to get out of that place. But for me, you know, he was out in 10 months or whatever it was. I had to do, you know, double the time because I had to go in. I had to complete the RDAP program. The RDAP program got me a year off my sentence. And thankfully, the FSA credits, FSA, thank God for the FSA credits. Shout out to Donald Trump for getting that going. That gets you out earlier, but I still had to run. I had to do 22 months locked up, and then I had to do another. Between the halfway house and house arrest, another 9 months there, and now I'm on probation, thankfully. Badabuko Sean Flex Wheeler on American Muscle in 1989. He was built like an action figure. Oh yeah, man. Listen, Flex in his prime, incredible. Thank you, Edmund. Do I have a husband? No, I have a wife. Sorry, not on the market. Fellas. Vinny Pazienza or Julio Cesar Chavez. Man. Wow. I think Julio Cesar Chavez has to get it. Two icons in boxing. I think beloved, right? In their community. Two-Face or Riddler? Riddler, definitely. Batman animated series or X-Men cartoon? Oh, X-Men cartoon for sure. Loved the X-Men cartoon in the 90s. Actually, Scatman, Jane wished me a Merry Christmas, right? And then Jane let me know that his mom wished me a Merry Christmas and then said he was sad that I didn't reach out to him. So he didn't actually wish me a Merry Christmas. He did say that he missed me, though. Let's see, Matthew Perry, Jerry Springer, Jeff Beck, Lisa Marie Presley, Tina Turner, all celebs who died in 23. Wow. Matthew Perry I knew about. Some of these stuff I saw in prison, in the newspapers. I knew about Springer. Jack, I didn't know. Lisa Marie, I saw that, yes. Tina Turner, I saw that also. Who we got on the 24 list? Scatman, he still tries to convince me to go to a coin thing with him, but I'm not interested. Not interested in the coins, guys. I would do it for the sake of a video, but we're not even allowed to do that. Did you guys get to check out the leg video with Chris Luke? You know, some good tips in there. The shoulder one will come out Monday. We still have to do arms. And then once I run through those, we'll run into some advanced techniques. I still want to do food, shopping on a budget, things like that. Oh man, Nathan, you know it. You know it. Do you think that the beach is the best place to meet with chicks? After going in the ocean, they won't have their makeup so you can see the real face. Well, listen, that really depends on the angle, Bolshoi. Like if you want to see them in their truest form, then yes, at the beach, whatever they got hanging out is what you're gonna get. You're right about the makeup being washed off. A lot of guys see them in their most camouflaged form because they meet chicks at clubs at night, which can be very, very, very terrifying, actually. I have had a few situations in my youth, don't miss those days, where once the alcohol wore off and the lights were on, I had to really look at myself in the mirror like, what in the hell did you get yourself into? However, unless they're drinking at the beach, you know, the guards could be up a little bit more. They lose their inhibitions with that alcohol. I actually find that, personally, depending on what you're into, because it's a mixed bag at the beach. Whereas if you're in the gym and you meet a chick in the gym that's there all the time, you already know that you have the same things in common, or a key thing in common. Zionic said, getting my indoor walking pad with electric incline was one of the best investments I made. Michigan wet. Oh man, I can't even. Michigan outside? Hell no. No. I remember when I was young and I was a meathead and I liked to do my cardio outside in the wintertime, man. Sometimes in Connecticut, that wind was blowing. Forget it. What is the science behind post-nut clarity? I believe it has to do with, I do remember reading this years ago, if it has to do with either a release of prolactin, combination of endorphins, and possibly a prolactin release that actually does put you in a more mental clear space. It is also, by the way, not true what they say about blowing a nut and having it lower your testosterone. That is not true. I knew a lot of guys used to think that they couldn't do that before they went to the gym or before a sporting event. False. It's been proven false. In fact, a lot of guys get a surge after that. Quincy Jones, James Earl Jones, Phil Donahue, Richard Simmons, OJ, Toby Keith. Wow. Oh man, I didn't know about Toby Keith. Jeez, that's sad. Bolshoi got all the factoids. Bolshoi. I have to say, I'm always impressed. You're sort of like my own Alex Trebek, but you're not condescending when I make mistakes, which I appreciate. All right, guys, 53 minutes. My foot is starting to hurt a little bit, so I think I'm going to slow it down. Start getting up out of here. When I'll be 60 or 70, who from famous people you'd like to live or use as a role model? You know what? Probably, honestly, guys, Sylvester Stallone. He's still in really good shape. He still works out hard. He still does a lot. He does a lot. He puts out a lot of movies, a lot of work. I respect the fact that he spoke on behalf of Trump instead of the opposite side, like all the other wimps in Hollywood. It seems like he does a lot, you know, with his daughters and whatnot too, you know, with his family. So I think you got to go with Stallone. I wonder too with Stallone, with all he's done, right, what his body feels like in the morning when he wakes up. Is he in a lot of pain? You know? But he's still going. And I'll tell you, listen, Papa Trump, he might have a belly, but the man is nonstop. Nonstop. If I'm still going nonstop like that in my 70s, I will be proud as hell. Strong genetics there. Orville Burke or Joel Stubbs? Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there with a tremendous back department. So, man, I got to meet Joel Stubbs actually this year in person. He's still massive. I would say Joel Stubbs probably has the best back double biceps of all time. And probably the best back lat spread too. Unfortunately, he just didn't have the legs. I think overall though, Orville Burke was a better overall bodybuilder. Freaky guy. I remember seeing him in his prime. He was massive. DMX, Rough Riders, or Jay-Z, Ride or Die? Rough Riders, definitely. I'm always going to go DMX over Jay-Z for the most part. Bolshoi is a hitman. Stallone is in good shape. And Arnold is highly active. Stallone made his own track so he can Tell Hollywood to F themselves, yes. You're right about that. You're right about that. I don't know, some of these guys, there's a few guys that are older that are still going really strong. Like, man, I was really surprised to see that how old Denzel Washington is. I did not realize that Denzel Washington came out, man. I remember when I watched Equalizer 3, I think somebody said that Denzel's like 65 years old. Another guy's still doing a lot of movies, still going strong. You know, I figure if I can still be going that active, 70 years old, there you go. I mean, if you can be that active still, that's a blessing. Nathan High says it's the McDonald's. Sly is 78. Oh man, I listen, I can't. I liked it, bro. I liked it. I'm on the Equalizer team. I liked it a lot. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I see, isn't there like a woman Equalizer now with Queen Latifah? That's kind of odd to me. Oh yeah, 1 and 2 were great. Listen though, Zionic, maybe it hit me in a special spot that he was in Italy like that. I remember when Ferrigno asked Trump on Apprentice why Trump doesn't train. Trump said that all people that he knows who train are all injured and pain. Solid answer. Solid answer. All right, guys. 57-13. Getting ready to shut it down for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I appreciate you guys all coming on here. It's a TV show. Ugh. I notice now in Hollywood the big thing is to remake stuff. That's that agenda that they push. They remake stuff, but with a woman as the lead for whatever reason. I guess to hit those different audiences. Full Metal Jacket or Platoon, man, great. Two really good movies. I don't know. Full Metal Jacket, I think I gotta go with, but Platoon is really good too. Both very well made. I think I gotta go Full Metal Jacket just for the crazy drill sergeant. Equalizer show is Latifah. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I saw that. I was like, wait a minute. We got a woman Equalizer now? They have a woman as Matlock now too. Interesting. The only remake. Well, listen, I can't say that, Bolshoi Kush, because there are a lot of remakes that I do like and appreciate. But I always think it's interesting when they redo a movie where there was a male lead with a woman. Is always interesting to me. Rowdy Piper or $1 Million Man. Well, $1 Million Man. So if you took $1 Million Man and Vince McMahon, that was the inspiration for my $1 Billion Braun character. It was a combination of both of those guys. I think Roddy Piper was a better wrestler, but I enjoyed the $1 Million Man's character. Just make good female characters. Yes, can't they do that? Why not, right? I'll tell you, one of my favorite female characters that I've never gotten tired of, I can see those movies over and over and over again, are the Underworld movies. They're still damn good all these years later. DDP or Piper? Ooh, listen, DDP has done a lot with the DDP yoga to help people that are in a lot of pain. And he's very passionate about it. You know, I gotta go DDP for that big career switch after wrestling. I actually know guys that were really, really jacked up that got better doing the DDP yoga. Carly Simon, You Are So Vain, or Gino Vanelli, I Just Want to Stop. Carly Simon. Another song that's been redone a zillion times also. All right, I hit an hour. I appreciate you guys doing this with me today. Very good questions, very funny questions. Bolshoi, you stumped me on a couple of them. Appreciate it. Good variety. I hope all of you had a nice holiday, whatever it is that you were celebrating. Christmas for me. And I'll be back tomorrow, Friday. Round out the week. We're going to keep burning some calories this week. This holiday season, it gets a little tricky with the food and the parties and whatnot. But we're doing it. And I appreciate you guys all. God bless all of you guys. I love you. Peace out. Bye.